All right. So we will be revising what we have covered in our previous class. So we were trying to focus different context, what we will have for a DAX calculation to execute. So we have seen when we place a slicer and then also the metrics which we want to use, the filter context and then row context will come in picture. So let me open a new tab here, and then let's again keep our focus just on products table, and let me select product name. And here, let's not worry about any of the calculation, but let's use the fields that we have available. So we have field available as unit price. So the sigma symbol, what we see here, it will be a numerical. When I drag and drop, the default behavior of this will perform sum. But if we want to have a different calculation, so let's say if you're getting the product ID, so basically you don't want to have a sum of the product ID, but you want to have a count. So within one specific category, if you want to get the count of the product, then you can drag and drop, and then you can do a count, or we can use a DAX calculation as well. So for this instance, we are using unit price, and then we are doing the default calculation, which is sum. And then let's also get another metric here, which is units in stock. So for this, the way we are reading this data is we have product names, we have the unit price of the product names, and then we have units in stock. So now if I have to place a slicer on this report page, then the way I do that is I take a slicer within the visualization pane. Let me undo this. So we have to select in the blank space, otherwise it will replace the table visual, which it just did. So I have this slicer selected here. It opens a new visual. So let me place this beside this table visual, and then now I can select category ID. So for this data set, it is now listing me all the category IDs to which this product name belongs. So by default, it's giving me this range option, but I can use this drop down option here and then convert this into as a list, a drop down between. So for now, to keep it simple, we are going with the list option. And as I said, we can use the formatting option. So within the visualization pane, whichever visual we are selecting, so we would have the fields option. So currently we added category ID, and then within the formatting option, so you could see I have multiple categories here. For now, I'm trying to modify the selection control, and I want to have multi-select option directly given to the user without doing a control click. By default, I can only select one item at a time, and then when I do a control click, I'll be able to select multiple items. But I want to have a default behavior where I can select anything randomly without doing a control click. So I'm closing this option. With this, it gives me an option now to select randomly any number of items which I want to use. And then when I click again back on that selected item, it will unselect. And then the other option, this is providing me is the select all option. I can turn on that one. So you could see when I click on select all, it directly selects everything. And then when I click on select all again, it will unselect everything. But now, if I'm focusing on selecting number 8, number 7 here, so this is where let's try to understand how one specific row here, and then the way Power BI has to work, and then display this specific number here. So for this, let me uh, draw a box here. So let's focus on this specific area. And in this one, we are seeing we have the selection here. Okay. So the way now we have to understand is, so let me use this box visual again. So these are our two calculations here. So this is our first calculation, and then this is our second calculation. So first one, we have the unit price, and then the second one, what we have is units in stock. And then we have the dimension. What is available for us is the product name. So this one, let me name it. This is a dimension. And next, we have this two metrics available. Okay. And then now the task of Power BI is based on the rows that it has available. So if you're picking this row here, then this row, what the table visual is displaying is that the, give me a second. Yep. So it's giving me this product name here, and then it's displaying the unit price. So it's exactly displaying the unit price of this specific product. Then this is where our row context will come in picture. And let me write that down. So this is our row context. And then we have this slicers, which are coming, which will be our filter context. So this one, let me move this down. Okay. So combining both row context and filter context, that is when we will be achieving the output. So let me do this. So this one and this one will give us the resultant output. So whichever, so if there are n number of selections available here, so you have to understand what all filters are being applied, and then what all values we have at the row level, combining both, what output we are getting it over here. So this is a very important concept for you guys to understand. So let me take a snip of this. I can share this after the class for you guys to refer. Okay, so now if you come back here, so we were able to do multiple selections here, and then we have the calculation available here. And then after that, we have seen how we can use a measure which will not take any memory in RAM, and then we'll be able to achieve the output calculation. So let's say if you want to get the amount calculation, then we said we can leverage the unit price into units in stock and then try to get the amount. So let me add a new measure here. So on new measure, so I'm right clicking on this table here, and then this is now giving me the option to add a new measure. Here I'm saying amount version 1.0 of the calculation. So which would be a simple calculation. So as we want to do a sum, we are using sum function. But here you see we are getting two prompts here. One is sum, and then the other one is sumx, which is the fourth function which we see in the suggestion. So the difference here between sum and sumx is sum only refers to, we can only refer to one specific column. But here, when we want to do a sum, we also want to do a multiplication operation, which we want to perform at each row level. That is where sumx will come in picture. And then the syntax, what we have for sumx is we have to first give the table name and then followed by the expression. So the table name we want to refer here is products, because that is where we have the columns we want to use. So we are giving the table name. So the first parameter is done. So the second parameter is you have to provide the expression. This is where you want to do multiplication operation. So you want to do a multiplication between unit price and units in stock. So you can start typing the column name. So I have unit price. So you could see when I start typing the column name. So here the syntax, what it is giving me is it's giving the table name followed by the column name. So this is how you have to follow the naming convention. So indirectly Power BI directly refers to that specific column. And then this is multiplied with units in stock. So again, I can start typing here and then I'll be able to see units in stock and our expression is done. So to understand this in a very simple way. Uh, so first we are giving the measure name here, and then after that we are giving a calculation, and we after giving this to, we have the table name, which is our first parameter, and then after that we have the expression where we want to do the multiplication. So once this is done, I can just click on apply, and then our calculation is done here. Our measure is added to the model, which we'll be able to see within the products table, and then within the measure tools. So you'll be able to see the measure name. So at the complete top, I have amount version 1. So home table for this is products, but if you want to place this measure in any of the different tables, so you'll be able to do that. And then we have this different formatting option here available. If I want to convert this one into a currency, then within the formatting, I'll be able to change it and then show it as currency. And here, let me clear this annotations, drag and drop, add to this. And here, I'm able to see amount value, which is added against the product name. And here, let me add a decimal places. So 2 decimal places, and we are done here. Another thing, what I wanted to show today is when we were discussing about the row context, we said that this amount calculation is able to get us the exact number based on whatever product it is seeing. But if we come in the products table here, then we have product name, and then apart from that we have supplier ID, category ID, and then quantities per unit. So now let's say if we want to focus and then see by quantities per unit. So then the way I can show that is, so let me remove this category slicer or change this to a drop down and then reduce the height for this. So still I'll be able to access this slicer, but when I add a new table visual here, which I'll be selecting within the visualization pane. From this, now I'll be able to add, so we have quantities per unit. So this is listing me all the different quantities we have. And then if we want to now see the quantity, the amount, I can drag and drop and then use the same measure that I created along with a different dimension. So the first table visual we created, let me sort this by amount. So we get this highest amount value, and then let me sort this. So here you could see it's doing the same calculation here. And then let me show you at the back end data side as well. So I'm now in the data view. I have picked the table name, product name, and then here you could see the quantities per unit, and I have the unit price and then units in stock. So it's 263 and then 17 units in stock. So you could see 263, 17 units in stock, and then I have the amount value here. So similar thing, it's showing for this as well. So same thing we could do for the other dimensions as well. So let me reduce the width of this table visuals what we added, and then now let's try to add another table visual here and then try using the amounts, the calculation which we added. So similar steps we have to follow within the visualization. I have to click on the stable visual, and now I'm adding amounts calculation that I have, and I want to now display it by the category. So let me look for that exact field name. So I have this category name. So this field is hidden. So let me see in the data view. Okay, so for now, let's focus only on the category ID instead of the category name. So I'm using this amount, and then from the products table, I'm using category ID, and then you could see now I'm able to see the breakdown by the category ID, but the calculation remains the same. So that means when I write one DAX measure and then when I add it to this model, then I'll be able to use those calculation with any dimension that I have available or any of the dimensions that are connected to this specific table. So currently when I'm using this amounts measure, so this amounts measure is referring to the products table, and then it's referring to the columns that are present in the products table. So if I come in the model view and if I add a new layout, so the folks, so those who are new to this class, so the model layout is it will show you the relationship between two different tables, whether you'll be able to use those tables to do any of the calculations or any of the visualizations that you have to do on the front end side. So I have created a new layout here, and I wanted to see a very simplistic view. So I added the products table, and then within the drop down here, so I see three dots here. So within this, I can add related tables to see to which tables product table is able to connect. So you now you could see it's connecting to this product sales table, and it's connecting to this alphabetical list of products, and it's also able to connect with the other tables. But the main key thing what we have to read from this is to which tables it has one to many relationship, and then to which table it has one to one relationship. So here you could see this relationship what we have, where we have alphabetical list of products and products. So let's only keep our focus on this table. So the way we have to read from this is product table has a list of 10 products. So in this particular table, you will be having only 10 rows. So same thing we have in the alphabetical list of products as well. So we have only 10 rows. Using this, when we are creating a relationships, then we are seeing a one-to-one mapping. So this is similar to like playing a soccer match where we have equal number of players and then we have one-to-one mapping. But if you see the other relationship it has, so between the invoices and products, then we have one to many relationship. That means that the same product can be bought by n number of customers. So you could buy it, I can buy it, n number of customers can buy it. So this will show me uh, who all customers have bought that specific product. Yep. So you guys have to be very clear with this. So instead of 10 here, so it will have the similar 10 products, but it will be appearing n number of times. So it will be number of customers. So it will be number of customers. So you could see customer ID into the number of products, number of times they have purchased it will show you the number of times it is appearing. Okay, so now if we go back here, and then let's say if we now only wants to utilize this two tables here. So we have products table and then we have alphabetical list of products. All the calculations we have been doing using the products table. where we have unit price and then units in stock. We did the amount calculation here using a measure. And then we have seen adding multiple table visuals. We'll be able to show the breakdown. Now we want to extend this. We want to extend and then use this relationship. And then let's get the category name. We were only seeing the category ID, but we were never knowing what was their category name. So this is where let's go in the report view again. And here, let's use this table visual here. Let me do a control C, which will copy the visual. Control V, paste it here. And now we have to look for the table. So I'm collapsing this products table here. And now I have to look for the table which we were seeing in the model view. So let me again come back here. Oh, this table was hidden. So you could see the cross symbol against this eye icon. So I'm clicking it here. That's the reason we were not able to see it in the report view. So now you'll be able to see it. So if I go back again, so I have this alphabetical list of products. And from this, I now want to get the category name. So category name first, category ID and amount. So here you see the complete breakdown. So let me remove the ID so you could see here. So I have seafoods products. So let me sort this. So I have a seafood product which is taking the highest amount here. And when I click on this seafood item, I'll be able to see all the seafood items here. The first one is this one. This product is having the highest amount. And then you'll you could see here, I don't have this category name field available in the products table, but using this relationship, I'm able to leverage the field that is available in one of the related tables, and I'm able to add it here directly into this table visual with the same amount calculation that is coming from the products table, and then I'm able to visualize this. And then same thing, I could do it for any field that is available uh, in the alphabetical list of products table. So let me clear all the sorting here. Okay, so we have this completed, and if we come to the other side of the relationship, so we have product ID, and then we also will have the product ID in invoices. So here, let's try to see how many number of times that particular product ID is appearing. So we will have to do a count. So for that, let me expand the products table again, and let me create a new measure by right clicking within that products table. We could pick any of the columns or use the top navigation. And within this, I want to say count of products sold. Let me keep it simple. Product count. So this is equal to, we have to do a count, and then we have to pick the product ID from the invoices table. So let me do this. So let me give the table name first, which will make us easy to locate the specific column. Otherwise, it will show us all the table names. So this would be more specific to which column or which table we want to refer. So here we are doing the count of product ID, so number of time that specific product was sold. And if I'm doing a drag here, it will select all this three table visuals, and if I slide little to the right, it will move table visuals and then create more space for this. So I can drag and then reduce the width. So I'm creating more space here to add the new calculation. So you could see I have product count. Again, we have to select the product count at the top. Within the formatting, we have to add a comma, and then the whole number that is looking good. No other changes, everything set. drag and drop, and then add it here. So you could see I'm now getting the count of all the products. If I sort here, so this is the product which has 54 orders. And then here you could see we have units in stock, which are only 79. So now we'll be able to see what's our current inventory after meeting this orders here. So you could see we have 85 stocks in stock, but we only have, we got 47 order, 85 in stock. But if you see here, for these two products, we have the units that are in stock only 20, 24, but the order what we got is 50 and 51. So yeah, so with simple calculation you are able to find this out, and we can now extend this report and then do more further analysis as well. But for now, I added this products count by product name, but the same thing I can also do it by category name here as well. So I can take the calculation and then add it to this table visual here. And within this, when I'm doing a cross filtering, that is when it's able to show me all the list of products, but I can extend this table visual, and I can, from a table visual, I can change this to a matrix. And here I'll have a capability to add fields. So the first level of field that I have here is the category name. And then next, the field that I want to add is the product name. So let me drag and add product name here. Then you could see this plus icon that is appearing. So I can press on this plus icon, and then now I'm able to see all the products that are falling under that specific category here. And then if you observe here within the rows, I'm adding category name, which is first, product name, which is second, and then we have this metrics, which are added in the values here. So similar behavior I'm getting. So seafood, which is category, it's first, and then I have a list of all the products here, followed by all the metrics. And I have this arrows at the top, which will help me to do a drill up or drill down without using this plus icons here to check or uncheck the level. So if I do drill up icon, press on drill up icon, so you could see here it's showing me the first level, which is the category name. And then if I click on the third icon here, going to the next level, instead of showing by category name, so this will show me by product name here. So I don't have to worry about adding two different table visuals. So you could see within one table visual, I'm able to see by category breakdown, and I'm also able to see by product breakdown. And then if I drill up again, so it will show me the default one. And then if I want to see a hierarchical uh, breakdown, then you could see C4 and then what all products are falling under C4, and then the amounts here, and then the count of products which we have got.